The Office Quest is a game you probably haven't heard of until now, but you'll really wish you had. For fans of point-and-click adventure titles of old like Monkey Island, this game is precisely what you're looking for. The Office Quest is charming yet cynical, relaxing yet challenging. It's Dilbert as seen through a black and yellow art aesthetic, almost like crisp doodles on a notepad at work. The Office Quest is a reminder of why I take pride in talking about games. And in case this introductory paragraph is being too subtle, I rather like The Office Quest. Over the course of my time with its first free chapter, I hid inside a photocopier, I helped someone fall madly in love with their sandwich, and I made spicy coffee to disrupt a budget meeting which involved actual fire breath. The Office Quest is not serious in tone whatsoever, and it revels in this fact. It enjoys being silly, it's proud of it, and that fun tone applies to virtually every aspect of the game. The puzzles in the Office Quest are never obtuse, but a few do demand you poke around the world and explore every aspect, so it's not like they're a casual Friday either. As you do, new quirky animations pop up to add a dash of physical comedy and life to the zany world. That said, the story itself isn't important. You're just a bored office worker trying to sneak out of the office from under the watchful eye of your superiors, who all inexplicably wear animal costumes. This seems like an odd one-off detail, but it actually factors into some of the game's puzzles in interesting ways. I mean, it's weird, but it actually has payoff. The Office Quest is the kind of absurdity that only an adventure game can offer, but sadly does come with a few moments where the game can leave you tapping every option until something happens. There's a lot of effort put into the game to ensure that you keep pressing on though, particularly in the game's hint system. Now, in a lesser game, the developers would charge you for hints and make their puzzles hard to solve as well. Meanwhile, the Office Quest lets you earn free hints, either a visual clue or a brief indication of what elements to interact with, by watching 1 to 2 advertisements. It's actually very fair since the ads only tend to be about 30 seconds long. This means you might be watching an ad or two if you're stumped on what to interact with next, but that's an exchange most players should be able to live with. The one exchange players might not be so keen on is that after completing the first chapter, the Office Quest asks the players to give $3 US for the next chapter to start. The install includes all chapters already as far as I could tell, it's just that the developers have these pay gates installed. Considering the quality of what you're getting, if you're a fan of adventure games, this is pretty reasonable. $3 for a solid 30 to 40 minutes of fun is pretty cheap, but for some, it's going to be a sticking point. The best way to decide for yourself is to play the first chapter and see how you feel about the overall experience. That said, I'm rather impressed by this one. The Office Quest is certainly one of the more polished adventure games on the App Store and is definitely worth a look.
This was no ordinary day.